Hayinawi Himi Hamsha Mashia from Laki Bashim Hawa Kakulash Rakdam Water by Bawa Kwam Yashra. Double honors to the apostles, builders, and bishops of great millstone teachers daily. To the men out there teaching likewise doctrine in the city of Shalom. Today we're going to get into this Tyree Nichols incident that went on in Memphis. 5 cops were fired for basically pulling this ball, beating him to death. And to make it seem strange, all the cops were Jakes, all of them Israel, so-called black people. Now, I know that Israel is the chosen people, right? But there are wicked men among us, okay? There are wicked men. There are men of our nation that does the will of Esau evil, okay? Matter of fact, throat dry. Okay, let's get it. There are wicked men in Israel who does the will of Esau evil, because they've been in Babylon too long. We have been in Babylon too long. It's time to get the hell out of here, because this wickedness is just too much to bear. I mean, really, dude. Let's go to Romans. Go to the book of Romans, chapter 9. We're going to verse 6. Not as though the word of Yahweh have taken none effect, for they are all not Israel, which are Israel. Told you, all just because they look like us, that don't mean nothing. You gotta discern the spirit by the spirit. It's wickedness in all nations, but the wicked is Esau evil and Amalek. But there are wicked men amongst Israel. For example, those pastors that lie to you on every Sunday, those are wicked men found amongst Israel. Now let's get Jeremiah. Go to chapter 5. And we're going down to verse 26. This is Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 26. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap. They catch men. See? Just because you're an Israelite, that don't exclude you from the 2/3 club, okay? All these murderers, these liars, these thieves, and everybody that went to the school of Babylon to learn how to do this shit from Esau evil. But read it again. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that sitteth snares. They set a trap, they catch me. Now let's go to the book of John. Chapter 8, verse 44. Y'all already know what it is. And this is the Lord Yahweh speaking. This is the red letter. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Yeah, they learned all this from Esau. Now let's get this video. Okay. And this is actual footage.
Excessive and unnecessary. Some strong words used by Memphis Police Internal Affairs after 2 officers beat a man with their batons. And now we've uncovered the never-before-seen body camera footage of the incident. That video is through our partnership with the Daily Memphian and the Institute of Public Service Reporting.
Now, we want to warn you, some of the video you're about to watch is hard to watch. WREG investigator Jessica Gertler finds out one of the officers involved has received repeated complaints.
Give me my keys, please.
October 2016. The night started with a woman in Nutbush flagging down Memphis police to help her get her car keys back from her boyfriend, Jeremiah Hall, the man in the yellow.
Look, if you could just get her keys so we can go, we'll stop bothering you. She just want to go home. All we need you to do is just get her the keys.
At this point, body camera video shows officers have been trying to get Hall to hand over the keys for several minutes, but he refuses.
Once you get her the keys, we go, she go.
I appreciate you start staying behind me, sir.
Hall is talking to Officer Richard Granderson, who you see walk away and call for backup.
I'm on the DV and it's going to get a little rowdy in a couple of minutes.
The video is clear. Hall does not comply with Granderson's directions to hand over the keys, but he does not threaten officers either. However, Granderson told MPD's Internal Affairs he felt Hall was belligerent and threatened to inflict bodily harm against him and his partner. When backup arrived, he advised Hall that he was under arrest. You don't hear Granderson announce the arrest. Instead, he suddenly grabs Hall from behind. His partner's body camera also captured what happened. Backup then gets out of the car to see the struggle that ensued. A stun gun is then used. Officers say it had no effect. You see Granderson also use his baton. They hit Hall over and over again, all while internal investigators say Hall laid there fetal and defenseless. A witness who was recording the incident is told to leave, a move also questioned by Internal Affairs, since officers are prohibited from interfering with the citizen filming police. Granderson says the witness refused to leave. He began to resist and strike him, which is why he took him to the ground. Video from later that night shows the witness's injuries. Internal Affairs called Granderson's actions clearly excessive and unwarranted.
Y'all be ashamed of yourself, bro. Y'all be ashamed of yourself.
Once in handcuffs, Hall continues to call officers names. While Internal Affairs says Hall was not respectful to officers, he was not threatening or abusive leading up to the arrest. Granderson admitted he should have handled the situation a little different. We tried to get in touch with Hall and the witness, but had no luck. Internal Affairs couldn't find them either. Both officers who used their batons were disciplined for excessive force and personal conduct, adding to Granderson's lengthy file. Since 2001, he's been questioned for using excessive or unnecessary force 6 times. He's also received 8 other complaints for personal conduct. 5 were sustained, including an incident from 2015 when he gave his cousin a ride in the squad car to his ex-girlfriend's place. He used the lights to illuminate the house and the loudspeaker to get her to come to the door. He was in full-duty uniform and took no action when his cousin and his cousin's ex got into a verbal exchange.
We're still in the early stages of evaluating MPD's policies.
Last fall, Police Chief C.J. Davis told us that includes the handling of excessive force complaints.
If someone complains on an officer 4 times that they were discourteous, and it's that officer's word against mine, there should be some type of corrective measure put in place for training or whatever the case might be, because chances are that officer is probably discourteous.
Davis vowed to put new measures in place.
There will be measures put in place for early warning, for corrective actions, and I also plan to really look at what a disciplinary matrix looks like so that we can have consistency in our disciplinary processes.
Taking another look at the policy is something the Mayor's Reimagining Policing Advisory Council also asked Davis to do.
And I feel confident that she's going to implement most of what we recommended to her.
After the 2016 incident, Internal Affairs noted Granderson's disciplinary record to be quite lengthy. One lieutenant asked, "At this point, we have to consider if it's in the best interest of the city of Memphis to continue his employment." But ultimately, they decided there's a chance to rehabilitate him. Since then, Granderson was investigated again for personal conduct. Jessica Gertler, WREG, News Channel 3.
Granderson does remain on the force. The other officer who used his baton has resigned. Now, we did ask MPD to see if and when Chief Davis will make the changes she spoke about right there, but we have yet to hear back. The body camera footage was obtained through a partnership with the Daily Memphian and the Institute of Public Service Reporting, and as we work together to uncover incidents of excessive force and help find solutions. Tonight, new details are emerging about the arrest that left Tyree Nichols dead after the U.S. Attorney's Office says now Memphis police did use.
Now that first video, it was showing these corrupt officers' history. Now this is the video about the dude that actually that recently died.
Used force during the arrest earlier this month. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Hurst.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. WREG's Jordan James spoke with a woman claiming to have seen video of that encounter. He is live tonight with what she has to say. Jordan?
Hey, Stephanie and Greg, for several days we have been asking the question, what happened during the arrest of Tyree Nichols? And for the first time, we have a better idea after speaking with a neighbor.
Nothing has ever happened like that before here.
On January 7th, everything neighbors have come to expect living in the neighborhood around Ross and Rains Road in Hickory Hill changed.
The whole scene was a little disturbing. You know, just all these officers out here, lights out here, and they were out here for hours.
A scene marking the end of a pursuit initiated by Memphis police, who claims Tyree Nichols was driving recklessly. As officers went to detain him, they say two confrontations broke out, leaving the 29-year-old severely injured.
I just saw him lying still, lifeless. I really couldn't tell, but he was not moving.
WREG spoke with a woman who prefers not to be identified. She claims she saw video of the alleged attack taken by a concerned neighbor.
Based on what she said, the officers weren't able to catch him, and then once they did catch him, they ensued with beating him.
3 days later, Nichols died, sparking investigations by the FBI, TBI, and the Department of Justice.
No justice, no peace.
Nichols' death is sparking calls for the video of the arrest to be released to the public, which the city of Memphis has vowed to do so. The neighbor we talked to believes there will be outrage.
When they see things like that, it gives them an uproar. I don't think it's going to be perceived very well.
And officials have not gave a definitive date as to when that video will be released, but they did say it'll happen after the family views it. Reporting here live tonight downtown, Jordan James, WREG, News Channel 3.
All right, and waiting for the official review as well. Jordan, thanks.
All right.
Lockdown.
Okay, we can come out of this. See, yeah, man, it messed up the way it went down, but see. Like I said, we got evil men among us in Israel. Now let's go to the book of Sirach. Please, we're going to chapter 8. And we can go to verses 11 and 12. That's not it. I wrote down the wrong scripture. But we can get Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, not wearing busy. That's why you got all this going on. That's why it's allowed. Because Esau is in control. It all stems from Esau because he brought wickedness into the world. So, now let's get Psalm chapter 73, verse 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like others. See? Because Esau has given them the green light to do wickedness. Because if they didn't have the okay to do wickedness, it wouldn't be no shootings. It wouldn't be no beatings. The police would not be violent. But we all know where the police stems from, slave patrol. So yeah, that's where it came from. That's why the police department will never be a righteous institution, because what it stems from. Just like Esau will never be righteous because He stems from wickedness. Now let's go to Proverbs. Chapter 29. And we start at verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And they are mourning literally because they, once again, the police just murdered something. Now let's go down to 12. If a ruler hardens the lies, all his servants are wicked. And that don't, I'm not talking about the president and elite, because all these police officers, to some degree, indirectly work for the president, works for Esau Edom, through the mayor, through the governor, through the president. See what I'm saying? So if a ruler hearkens to lies, all his servants are wicked. And like I see, I explain this analogy all the time. I know it's good cops out there, but I'm not trying to figure these people out. And a good analogy for that is, if you step into a room full of snakes, are you gonna go in that room to figure out which are the good snakes and which are the bad snakes? No, we stay away from cops, period, because you never know. Because cops are very emotional. They are. Some of them going through divorces and decide to pull over Jake just because his wife's speaking for Jake. Stuff like that. We don't take chances with cops because they're emotional. They're not logical men. They bend the law to their will. And they get away with literal murder. So now we deal with cops. Not taking away from the good ones, but we just don't deal with you. The bad ones messed it up for all of you. So let's go to Proverbs. Oh, we in Proverbs. We're going to chapter 6. And let's go to verse 16. These 6 doth the Lord hate. Yes, 7 are an abomination unto him. Proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. Yeah, there are wicked people amongst all nations. But Esau Edom is the wicked. Just like his righteous people amongst all nations. But Israel is the chosen. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 26. Let's go to verse 10. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjust and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. They don't care. They don't care. It's just that simple. Let's go back. Chapter 14. This is Proverbs chapter 14, verse 17. He that is soon angry dealeth foolishly. See, that's emotion. If you got to make a critical decision, don't do it while you're angry, because you're doing it out of emotion, not logic. Get it again. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 17. He that is soon angry dealeth foolishly, and the man of wicked devices hated. Now let's go to back to chapter 29. And we're going to verse 27. An unjust man is an abomination to the just. And he that is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked. That's why Jacob and Esau can't get along. The biggest family feud in history. Because the righteous is an abomination to the wicked, and the wicked is an abomination to the righteous. Let's go to Psalms. Chapter 37. And we're going to scroll down to verse 32. And it reads, the wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him. And what happened? What just happened? Another George Floyd, only with Jakes, only with evil Jakes, wicked Jakes. Now, when this video airs, because they are telling people in Memphis, don't wild out, don't tear nothing up, don't act crazy. When they tell you that, that's what they want you to do. So it seems like this is kind of indirectly being set up as another George Floyd scenario to get the people in an uproar so they can take more of their rights. What did Hillary Clinton say? Never let a good crisis go to waste? Yeah. Expect that in Memphis. Because our people, they so quick, they want to march about everything, not knowing what's happening. These are the curses, and we're going to get into the curses later on. Our people march over anything. When has marching ever worked for you? Protest. When has that ever worked for you? Your enemies laughing at you. Talking about you want some equal rights. They told you straight up in the Constitution that you are 3/5 of a man. Yet you mad every time this man disappoints you. You putting your hope into a man that hates you. You trust your enemy to tell you who you are. Stupid. Go to the book of Zechariah. And these are the ways of the wicked. Zechariah chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. See? So that's basically saying this is what Esau does. He'll stab you, put a knife in your hand, and say, it's your fault. And they say, blessed be the Lord, because they done got away with so much murder, they think the Lord is actually on their side. Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich through slavery. And their own shepherds pity them not. Now, if anybody's out there that's going to protect so-called black people, it should be black cops, right? Not the case all the time. Their own shepherds pity them not. The shepherds are the cops, the protectors of the sheep. Let's go to Psalm chapter 94, verse 1. Oh, we start at 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law. Now they murdered this boy, claiming that he tried to run, or he was driving reckless, something that's not worthy of death. Especially 5 cops to 1. Come on, man. Wickedness amongst our people is. It's called the 2/3. Let's go to Proverbs. Oh, I forgot this one. Psalms chapter 94, verse 21. They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. Wickedness is wickedness. Righteousness is righteousness. In this case, it doesn't matter about what nation you're from. Wickedness is wickedness. Wickedness and righteousness are found in all nations. But Israel is the nation of the righteous. But you still have 2/3 of Israel that's going to be destroyed for their wickedness. Now we can go to Proverbs chapter 1, verse 11. If they say, come with us, let us lie wait for blood Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Verse 12. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave and whole, and those that go down into the pit. They just wait for you. They wanted murder you anyway. Just need to get them up so they can blame you for murder. That's how the wicked broke. Always victimizing, always demonizing the victim, but the murderer is the now he a victim. A murderer is a victim officer. Never mind the deceased. See how wickedness works? We go to Psalm chapter 58, verse 2. Yeah, in the heart you work wickedness, with the violence of your hands in the earth. Wickedness is wicked. God's what nation? And the Lord said he's gonna destroy all wickedness out of the earth. So just because you're an Israelite, you're doing wickedness, the Lord still gonna get you. Just as he gonna treat you just like the heathen. Spit, which means spit. Because that's how you act, just like the heathen. Right here, murdering their own people for nothing. I hope Esau, well, I don't forget Esau. I hope Yahweh do the damn thing with the cops. Through the hands of Esau. Now let's go to the book of Romans, chapter 1, and we go on to verse 32. Who knowing the judgment of Yahweh, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. It's them cops. They enjoy it. So guess what? The Lord gonna treat you just like a heathen. Just like you're not even an Israelite. And that's just not that. That don't go for just these cops. That go for all you 2/3 Israelites. Let's go to 2 Timothy, chapter 3, verse 13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. See, they probably did this. They probably jumped into this, not even giving a second thought to, hey, this is wrong. We might get in trouble for this. Now, because you can tell because they're comfortable doing it. So this is not their first time, as you can see in the first video. So yeah, the Lord gonna treat you just like he's gonna treat you just like he's gonna do Esau. He's gonna destroy you. Get Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 4. For my people is foolish, they have not known me, they are sottish children, which means stupid. And they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. Talk about you 2/3. That's gonna be destroyed with Esau and the rest of these heathens. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes and the Apocrypha. And we're going to what's that? We're going to chapter 12. And we're going to verse 6. And it reads, for the Most High hateth sinners, Christians, and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, and keepeth them against the mighty day of punishment, their punishment. So just because the Lord ain't destroyed you yet, that don't mean you off the hook. He reserved you for that fire. And that fire gonna give you understanding. Check this out. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 9, verse 11. Envy not the glory of the sinner, for thou knowest not what shall be his end. See, you don't know what the Lord gonna do to you. Now let's get another one. This is Ecclesiastes. That's what I was lucky about this. Matter of fact, we're gonna go to Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verses 11. We're gonna read down to 13. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set for them to do evil. See, they've been getting away with this so long, they don't think they'll never be caught, or they'll never get in trouble. Verse 12, though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear your house, which fear before him. Verse 13. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days in charge of shadow, because he feareth not before you. So if you don't fear your house by showing how shadow, you out here in the earth conducting yourself like a beast. He gonna treat you like a beast. Thank you, God. Let's go to the book of Psalms. I mean, just lawless. But these people supposed to be enforcing the law, but they out here being lawless. Let's go to Psalms, chapter 55, verse 20. Psalm chapter 55, verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. In this case, that covenant would be what? Protect and serve. But no, these police ain't shit no more, man. I know some good cops out there, but I ain't trying to know none of them. Just don't know what kind of chip you got on your shoulder taking it into the field. These emotional cops, no. Short fuses, no. I don't deal with cops. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 11. Verse 31. For he lieth in wait and turneth good into evil, and in things worthy praise will lay blame upon thee. See? Shoot you and then put you in handcuffs and tell you it's your fault. Now, one thing I want to get into, another thing I want to get to that I mentioned earlier in this video. We're gonna go into curses, Deuteronomy, see why all of this is happening to just us, you know. I mean, you got murder in other nations, but not like Israel, not like Judah. And we go on to chapter 20. And we're gonna go down to we start at 1. Now, this is talking about if we follow the law, statutes, and commandments, he will give us the word, everything. Verse 1. And it shall come to pass that if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord, Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord Yahweh thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth, above all nations. Right. Now we go down to 15, verse 15. This is what's going to happen if we didn't listen. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. We start at verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. And that's literal. The field in this scripture represents the world, because we were scattered throughout the four corners of the globe. Verse 19. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou comest out. Meaning, when you born into this world, to this captivity, you are cursed because you are in captivity. And when you die, you are reborn into captivity. Verse 20. The Lord will send thee, the Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken. Now let's scroll down a bit to verse 54. Check this out. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother. That's why you got all these gangs killing each other. That's why you got all this jealousy amongst you. And last but not least, that's why you got so-called black on black crime, murder, just like these cops. Now they're supposed to be in an authoritative position, but you see how they exercise their authority. Let's get it again. So that the man that is tender among you and is very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Now, what nation is this curse affecting the most? It's not Edom. It's starting to now. But who has it always affected? Israel. Or evil eye toward his brother. That's where you get that phrase, black on black crime. That's where that comes from. Because it was happening so much. It was a clue of who the Israelites were, because all these curses affected a certain people. And that was your sign of who the Israelites were, catching all this here. And it's not just black, so-called blacks. Hispanics and Native Americans too. Let's go down to 65. And among these nations thou shalt find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart and feeling of eyes and sorrow of mind. Verse 66. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have no assurance of thy life. Who does that pertain to? What nation of people? I'm gonna wake up Israel. Because you out here acting like a 2/3 lawless beast, guess what? So you get treated. Call all the law. How about Shimmy out, Shah, Shia, Wamalaki, Shim, how about Kaprashkara?